morning, everybody. Welcome to day 2 of our daily creative challenge. It's good to have you here. Welcome. If you're just coming in, come on in, sit down, get comfy, like I was saying in the chat. We're going to be covering gradients in Photoshop in just a moment. But before we jump into that, I want to remind you all about what this beautiful daily creative challenge even is. Also, I'm Kathleen. I'm your host. Welcome if you haven't met me before. Give me a status update. How are you all feeling? How you doing? It's Wednesday. We made it halfway through, or I guess a quarter of the way through the challenge. And how you doing with your challenges, your themes, your concepts? If you're starting a bit late, just a reminder that we're making a zine over the next 2 weeks. So basically like a mini publication, literally mini. Like we made a mock-up on the first day on how to make these little paper zines. And yesterday we covered the front and back spread. There you go, it's a little blown out, but you get the point. Oh, it's bright and sunny in London, awesome. Neil says feeling good, perfect. And then today we are gonna be just doing the first page of the first spread. So if you wanna work on the starter file, I will show you that in just a moment. You'll just be working on the left side of it. Ron says, I'm retired. It's always Saturday. There you go. That's awesome. Okay, so let's jump over to my screen, take this little guy off. Perfect. So if you want to learn more about the Daily Creative Challenge, come to behance.net/challenge/Photoshop. Jennifer says, actually, the theme for today is hubby's birthday. Cool. Is the whole zine going to be for his birthday? I think I said that on the first day. Like, this would make an amazing birthday gift or card for someone. Also, yes, my hair is overpowered today and is going to be cut off the top the whole time. Don't worry about it. What's up, Sig? Good to see you. All right, scroll down. You'll see gradient basics is the topic for today. Yesterday, we learned about transforming type. And if you want to download the starter file, just click Get Started, and you can go ahead and download that. Super duper easy. Before we actually jump into Photoshop, I wanted to start our Behance project from our project yesterday. So the main goal of these daily creative challenges is to end the challenge with an awesome new portfolio project on Behance. So let me show you really quick how to make a new project. Make sure you're logged in on Behance and just click Create a Project. It's always up here at the top in this top banner. You can always go to your profile and click Create a Project here, and you can see all of your past projects in your feed. Very nice. So I'm just gonna cover this super duper quickly because we wanna jump into gradients as soon as possible. Now, recently this project editor got a little bit of an overhaul. The tools used to be on the left and now they're on the right. Whoa, big difference. So let's just upload our image from yesterday. I already exported my spread, my cover, my front and back. So I'm just gonna click image over here for add content. Let's navigate to our file. Here we go, just a preview and a reminder. So my zine is called Solitude, a poetry zine. And we're actually gonna be writing poetry today. It's gonna be an experience, I'll tell you what. What's up, Frank and Viola and Anna? Chad, hello. All right, let's get this open. I'm not gonna add any special keywords or copy right now. I just wanna get my work up here so we can continue to add to our project throughout the challenge. Awesome. All right, continue. From here, we can add our titles. Solitude, Poetry, Zine, DCC. There we go. We can add some project tags. So we could say like Photoshop, Zine. I'm also gonna add PS Daily Challenge in here. And we used Photoshop. Easy peasy. All right, this could be a mixture of photography, illustration, graphic design, and let's publish it. Now, before we publish it, actually, if you want to edit your cover image, you can come over here on the left, click Edit Cover Image, and here you can zoom in. Maybe you want like a closer crop. So I kind of like when my cover images are a little more ambiguous. Like I want them to still get the idea across, but maybe it can mostly focus on this giant solitude. Maybe zoom out just a little bit more. You can also make just a custom thumbnail if you'd like to by clicking this plus button and uploading it there. All right, that'll do. Cool. Crop it. And then we will publish it. And there you go. That's how easy it is to make a project. Now, I'm not gonna make a new project every day. I'm just gonna continue to add to this project as we go. So if I go to my profile, there it is. Ooh, I love that orange with all of this blue that I've done in the past for Photoshop Daily Creative Challenges. Also, this is my 12th challenge. That's wild. Who's there with me? How many have you done? Can you go back and count them on your profile? I'm very curious. Who else has a super high number? Or if this is your first one, that's awesome. Cody says I'm lurking while eating spaghetti for lunch. Cody, enjoy that paschetti. All right, so let's jump into our actual challenge for today. We're gonna be covering gradients in Photoshop. Yeah, you like the orange too? Colby, it's a good orange. It reminds me of Illustrator. So it goes well with that blue of Photoshop. All right, so if you don't know what a gradient is, let's just go over that super quickly. A gradient is this. So in Photoshop, it's when we go from one color to another or through multiple colors in a smooth, clean way. So this is going from blue to white. This is going from kind of a burnt orangey to white, but it's radiating from the center. So gradients are really powerful in Photoshop. And there's a bunch of different ways that we can use them, access them, and make them pop. Very nice. You started with me in June. Valder, you have not done 21 challenges. I guess that would make sense if you are doing multiple challenges like Illustrator XD and Photoshop. I believe it. I believe it. Ted says it's one a high number. Yeah, Ted, even doing one challenge is a big undertaking. I respect that. Also in the chat, let me know if you are familiar with gradients and what your favorite way to start using one is. I think the easiest way to get a gradient is to do a gradient fill layer. So I'll show you really quickly how to access that. Over in our layers panel, we're gonna come down to the bottom, hover over this kind of like half moon icon, not half moon, but circle split in half icon. That's your adjustment layers or fill layers menu. Pop that open and click gradient up here at the top. These top three options are all fill layer options. So we got a solid color fill layer, gradient fill layer, and pattern fill layer. I'm gonna click gradient, and that's gonna fill my entire workspace with whatever gradient I choose. We can change our gradient by either dropping open this little menu and choosing another one. We could just go rainbow, fun. Or if you click on the actual gradient, the bar, you'll have a little bit more control. So I can come over here to my gradient type. I'm gonna click on one of these color stops and drag it away. And that deletes it. We'll drag this one away too. And this one. Ooh, maybe not. Command Z to undo that, or Control Z if you're on a PC. Perfect. Now we can change the smoothness if we want a little bit more of a hard line in between. Maybe if you're trying to make something look metallic or metal, you might decrease the smoothness, but that looks good. And then also in this gradient fill menu, we can change the scale. So I'm just gonna scrub it up, and then you can even change the angle as well. Very nice, right? Maybe make it a little bit smaller so we get a little bit of that blue. Perfect. So notice over here in our layers panel, we have just a gradient filling our entire workspace. There's no edge to this gradient. Like even if I were to move it to the right or the left, you wouldn't see white behind it. It would just be gradients forever, all the way down. All right, Sean says nobody uses noise gradients. I love them. Ooh, Sean, why do you like noise gradients? I think they'd be great for adding texture, right? Gradients for masking are helpful. Oh, Pam. Do tell, to get those realistic like shadows and highlights. All right, we're gonna turn that off, and I'll show you my second favorite way to get a gradient, and that is how these circles are created. So I'm just gonna pop open this folder over here, or this group over here in our layers. You can easily do that just by clicking this arrow and twirling it open, and you'll notice that we have 4 shape layers. Now you know they're specifically shape layers because they have these little icons next to them. That means it's a live shape and it can be edited on the fly super easily. Just gonna zoom out. We're gonna just pick this one right in the top left, This is just a normal blue to white gradient, and I'll show you how I made it. Let me turn off this window really quick. I'm gonna pop over here to my tools panel, long press on it, on the shape tool, sorry, be more specific, Kathleen, come on. Supposed to be a pro. All right, and then get the ellipse tool selected. Now when you use specifically the shape tool, that gives us those live shapes. So I can hold shift to constrain it, and it's automatically gonna fill it in with color. If you're familiar with Illustrator, this is how Illustrator works with color. You can choose a fill and a stroke and it will automatically change it. You don't have to use the paint bucket and drop in color by hand. And then up here in the top, if you have the shape tool selected, you will get these options to change your fill. You can either do one of these warm gradients, you could change it to just be a normal solid fill color, or you could even change to a pattern. Very nice, but we're gonna stick with gradients for now. Cool, we still have the options here to change it to be maybe a radial gradient if you want a bubble type of look. If you have a specific angle, etc., etc. I've never really used the diamond. Let me know, chat, if you ever have before. I usually use radial, but most often just linear to get those smooth one color to the other. Jan Eric, I remember the paint bucket from MS Paint. Paint bucket's older than me, probably. All right, let's just delete this layer. Now this other blue circle that's below is the same exact layer. I just duplicated it and changed the blend mode. I don't think we've really talked about blend modes in the last couple days. So you can change your blend mode right here in your layers panel. And this is where we can try out a bunch of different ways that the layer interacts with the background. So this one was on hard light. And I'll give you an example of what hard light does. If I were to move this gradient on top of our window graphic, it's going to be transparent. That's not totally transparent. You can still see, well, it is totally transparent, but you can still see the white edge here at the bottom. So maybe we want it to go just from blue to nothing to get a nice shadow. I can play with my blend modes until I find something like that. Darker is a good one. Darker color seems to work well. So we're going purely from blue to clear. All right, and then these orange ones are just examples of gradients, but coming from that radial option. I really love this one on the bottom. It's just a normal gradient. I turned down the opacity a little bit, but I changed the blend mode to dissolve, and that's how you get that kind of speckly, crackly feel. I'm turning down the fill or the opacity. You can get some really nice texture. I thought this would work well for this zine, this handmade kind of Xeroxed effect that we are trying to go for. Now I'm just gonna drop this circle behind our window. And now we have a really cool texture to go behind our graphic. I might increase the size, going to the move tool and hitting Command T, or doing show transform controls, grab a corner, size it up. And that did not work. Let's see. Go here. There we go. Increase the scale a little bit. Perfect. Steven says the first product I used with the paint bucket tool was in 1985. What product was it? MS Paint? Did that exist back then? Goodness. All right, so for today's actual graphic, let's actually talk about the zine and the design that I was personally going for. Again, you don't have to do exactly what I'm doing, but since the zine is all about solitude in the summer, I wanted to do something focusing on how we've been indoors looking out of windows. What does the world look like through our window panes? Very nostalgic, very poetic. And if we're trying to get dreamy with it, where can our windows lead us? Maybe in some sort of dreamscape. Maybe we escape from our window and fly off into the sky. Who knows? So I actually have a poetry generator that I think I gave the link to Sam on Slack if you can share it, but I can also share it as well. Let's pop over to it. This is a haiku generator. The link is poem-generator.org.uk/haiku. All right, and this is going to, what's up, Mr. Beast? How you doing over there? We can make a haiku on the fly if you're not comfortable writing poetry or you need a little bit of a leg up. Basically, all you need to do to write a haiku is to write 3 lines. The first line is 5 syllables, the second is 7, and the last is 5. It doesn't have to be exactly that order. There's different ways and different styles of haikus, but I think the most simple kind is that 5-7-5 style. So you can enter whatever you want, a time of year here. I obviously put summer because this is all about summer solitude. Thank you, Sam, for posting that link. I entered a couple words that I was interested in writing a poem about, and then this is what I landed on. Lonesome summertime, a front secret window sprouts, despite the beanstalk. So there's this idea of like Jack and the Beanstalk escaping up this giant ladder out of our window. So with that idea, I kind of created this simple editorial graphic around that. We've got our window with a couple different gradients in the window panes showing some almost like stained glass effects. And then I made this kind of beanstalky shape coming out of the window and rising towards the sky. Haiku of your Starbucks coffee. Very nice, Eddie. Share it with us. I also have some cloud shapes down here, and really quickly I'll show you the way that I made this leaf. I just used the lasso tool. And I drew a leaf shape. I'm just using my trackpad. There's nothing totally special about this. There we go. We have a selection. I'll make a new layer just to make sure. And I came over here to my gradient tool in the toolbar. Yes, we do have a gradient tool. It might be hiding under your paint bucket tool, but if you want to cycle through these tools super quickly, you can just hold Shift G to cycle through them all. Because you see here that G is the hotkey for these tools. All right, so we have an orange to transparent gradient going on, and I can just drag through this selection, deselect it, and there we go. We have a nice gradient plant. Now I just duplicated this layer, selected all the pixels in it, which is a really cool little hack. If you hover over the thumbnail of your layer, hold Command and click, you'll select all the pixels from it, and then you can change to a different gradient if you want to. Maybe just do it up here at the top. There you go, now it has a blue tip on it. There was a young man called Mr. Beast who always wanted to feast. Isn't that more like a limerick? That kind of cadence. You know. Okay. Cool, so we've got a couple different options for adding gradients. I'm excited to see what you all do, and we can save this. Now you'll also notice with this starter file, if I turn the grid back on, this is for day 2 and day 4. So we're gonna come back to this exact spread on Friday to finish out this first page of our book. Tomorrow we're probably gonna be going to a different spread. They're not in total chronological order because the topics of the challenge didn't really mesh together, so I wanted to keep the spreads looking nice with the content. You know? Cool. And if you have any more questions about gradients after the stream, I forgot to mention this at the start, but you can join us on Discord. Let me go back. Perhaps Daily Creative Challenge? There we go. If you want to join us on Discord, it's super easy. Just come to the community chat link right here or chat with the community. We make it very easy for you to get there. But if you'd like one more helpful step, you can also just go to bit.ly/psdiscord to join us. And if you're like, you keep saying this Discord word and I don't know what it means, what is Discord? Let me show you really quick. It is a really cool chat room that is open 24/7 where you can post your work to get feedback. So we've got a lot of awesome work being posted. Ooh, this is by Susan from yesterday. So this is the cover and the back, a zine about orchids. Very nice. 99 has a zine about expeditions, a travel zine. Very cool. Got Snow, the right to go, the right to vote, marry, blah, blah, blah. Very interesting. Love it. We've got one from Lee, Christina. Love that as well. So yeah, you can do a topic about anything. Like I mentioned yesterday, zines really came from times of unrest and social change. So it's a great time to make a zine about something that you're passionate about and want to tell the world about. Or you can just make a zine about basketball hoops or shoes. It's very nice. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna pop off of Discord. Let's export our graphic and we can upload it just to get some feedback. I'm just gonna take a screenshot of it, I think, since we haven't done the entire spread. Cool. We'll go back to Discord. Sig has 2020 living in that quarantine year. Going down in history. Let's upload our work. Here's my screenshot. And I will say, here's my graphic for day 2. I think I want to add more texture to the gradients to better match the brush strokes. Cool, so you can put your own comment about your work, you can ask for specific feedback, but post your work here, do some revisions, and then you can upload it to your project on Behance. It's awesome. How do you change the color of that window from grayscale to color? Davika, not sure what window you're talking about specifically, but let me know. Let me know. Cool. So before we leave, maybe we can jump through a couple of your submissions on Discord. Does that sound fun? If you haven't posted your work on Discord from yesterday, go ahead and do that now, and maybe we can get through it in the next couple minutes. So I'm going to scroll on up to the top of these challenges. We've got some of the past challenges still rolling in. Nice. You guys got a lot going on. I was impressed yesterday by how many came in just for that cover and how quickly you all decided on your themes. Impressive. I had time to think about my theme. Y'all did not. Ooh, that is cool. Still scrolling, still scrolling. Okay, we're coming near the top. I remember now. I remember. All right, we will start here with Susan. My Behance project for the first 2 weeks. Oh, this is with Jesus, nice. There we go, this is with Snow. Again, I saw this yesterday. Not sure which way I want to go here, serious or fluffy. So much going on. Snow, I like that you went for the more serious and the more social change route. Very nice. If it's something you're passionate about, then tell the world. Love it. And then you can also do the fluffy zine later on if you're still having fun with it. Puppy dog tails, snails, and turtles. Such a random topic, and it's very fitting for a zine. Love it. Mark says, not sure if that has anything to do with the template. If not, at least I got a little more practice with the vanishing point filter. I'm super impressed that you mocked this up on the first day. We might be covering mock-ups later in the challenges, but I'm glad that you're getting a head start. That's the perfect example of a zine topic. Cool, Snow has a different version of the palette in your generic cover. Cool, so you went ahead and made a cover yesterday for your Behance project. This feels a little bit more vibrant than your original one. I dig it. This is from a previous challenge, I believe. And if you are still working on different challenges, or even if you're working on past challenges, since you can go through the backlog, you can always post your work here in the past challenge channel, just so that the current challenge channel doesn't get too confusing. Nice. L Watch abandoned for the cover. Now just keep in mind that if you are going to be doing this folded paper technique, the right side of your zine is going to be the cover and the left is going to be the back, because we got the cover and the back. I like this topic though. Very nice. There's mine. Wasn't even the first one to post. So impressed. We've got a graphic design. Oh, cover for personal portfolio by Fairy. Cool. This would be a great little portfolio piece that you could take to maybe a career fair. You can just hand these out as like a business card. Very cool. Loving all of your work so far. Get your work uploaded on Discord so we can chat about it, and then you can post your finals on Behance. I am going to jump out of here in just a moment, but first I'm going to show you the schedule for today. Right after me, we're going to have Pierre coming in with some photo retouching, and then we have 2 more daily creative challenges for Illustrator and XD. We've got packaging design with Nick Longo, and then the design off with Val and Lisa. So that's going to be fun. We have a full day of Adobe Live. And I will see you tomorrow with tomorrow's challenge. Until then, get your work on Discord, and I will see you soon. Thanks, everybody. Bye.